This is concept question 213 from chapter 25. And we're given a graph that shows the demand curve for a perfectly competitive firm. So we know that in a market where we have perfect competition, one specific firm has a demand curve that is flat because there's such good competition that if that one firm raises its price even by a penny, it's not going to sell any of its product, because the demanders will just go to one of their competitors to buy the product. Since we have perfect competition here, everybody's product is the same, so they might as well go down the street rather than pay your 1 penny higher, right? And so the consumer's willingness to pay is static. It stays at that same price no matter the output that you are able to produce as a firm. So in a perfectly competitive market, we have a flat or horizontal demand curve. So the question says to suppose that firms in this industry discover a way to differentiate their products. So now we're no longer perfectly competitive because we have products that are a little bit different from each other. So maybe now I can charge that penny extra because my product's different from someone down the street. So you may specifically want my product over theirs. You may not want to go down the street to buy theirs. You may be willing to pay that extra penny for mine because of whatever's different about it. So now we're no longer perfectly competitive, and we can in fact raise our prices and change our output or quantity demanded. And so using the line drawing tool, we're supposed to show how the firm's demand curve would likely change. So the only thing that changes here is we go from our perfect competition flat demand line to a line that looks more like what we're used to with the law of demand, that's going to be downward sloping. Now that we don't have perfect competition, we have some differentiation. So now I can in fact change my prices and not lose all of my demand. It just may change the quantity that's demanded. So now my new demand curve is going to be downward sloping now that we don't have perfect competition anymore. So we'll check that. Good job. And then the last part of this question says, since the demand curve is now downward sloping, the monopolistically competitive firm will set what kind of price? Will they set a price that's greater than the marginal cost, equal to the marginal cost, unrelated to the marginal cost, or less than the marginal cost? Remember, for a monopoly, the price always will be greater than the marginal cost. A marginal cost curve for a monopoly always is steeper and below the demand curve or the marginal revenue curve. So the monopolist will always have a price that's greater than the marginal cost, because the marginal cost curve is always below the demand curve. The demand curve is what always helps us set our price. So check my YouTube video for concept question 2-10 from chapter 24. It's in the Econ Homework Videos playlist, and it will give you more of a description on how the monopolist's marginal cost curve is related to the monopolist's marginal demand curve. So if you want more on that, then go check out that video, which will explain that relationship. Other than that, we should be done with this question. So let me know if you have any more questions, or stop by office hours or shoot me an email.